Rattle and Roll in the Louisiana Derby.
Originally hopeful that this horse would make the Risen Star, but he was behind schedule. And we ended up, we got his first race in Florida in the Fountain of Youth. And he hadn't run in 5 months, so I think he was a little rusty in that sense, and he needed the race. And then from there, I think this was a good comeback spot. I mean, it's a mile and 3/16. I think the long stretch is going to suit him really well. The pace of the race is going to be interesting because I'm not sure how that unfolds with the favorite Epicenter. But he just needs to get points, and if he gets points, he punches his ticket to Kentucky because I think he's a solid 1.25 mile type horse. I think he's going to love the added distance, and we just got to hope we get enough points to get in the race.
You've been in some other Louisiana Derbies. You've won the Louisiana Derby. Talk about this field. You mentioned Epicenter, the favorite.
Well, that Louisiana Derby that I won was with Repent, and he was an interesting horse because he came here a couple days and wouldn't even train. I mean, he was just a very difficult horse to be around overall, whereas Rattle and Roll did everything perfect today, and I thought Robbie handled him really well on the gallop, and we paddock schooled him. But this is a race where it kind of was the other way around. Repent was a closer, and it ended up being a paceless race, and he did win, but by the hair of his chinny chin. I mean, it was inches. Whereas this Saturday there's the favorite 7-5, and he's all the speed in the race. So these kind of things are out of our control. We'll leave it up to Brian. He rides here regularly, and he rides well for me, and he knows this horse well. So fingers crossed it works our way.
The Mackins, Smile Happy, then will run the following week in the Bluegrass, right? And what an amazing thing for the Mackin family from Louisville that I think they only had 7. You bought 7 yearlings for them, 7 2-year-olds, and it's amazing that 2 of them could end up in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, and really maybe the best one is a filly that was very unlucky. Behave Virginia was 2 for 2, and she won the debutante at Churchill and unfortunately broke her shoulder. But she was really talented. But yeah, we've off to a good start. They're great people to work for. They've been at it a long time. They know the game, and I think they certainly deserve to play at a high level.
And Smile Happy, he's not done anything wrong.
We've been sitting on him like a time bomb. I mean, he and Rattle and Roll worked together last week coming into this race, and he's certainly, I mean, they worked 58 and change together, which was a super work. And he's got it was a hard decision whether to Florida Derby or Bluegrass, but with everybody, the Mackin family and everybody in Kentucky, logistically, I think it was a lot easier for the family, and I'm not opposed to winning another Bluegrass myself.
And he's the current Derby favorite in a lot of the different polls, and
yeah, that's fine. I don't put a lot of emphasis in all that. I was telling Jay Mackin this morning, if this colt wins this race at 1 mile and 3/16, they might make him the favorite because I know he's going to handle the distance. How this race sets up's out of our control, and really points is my goal here. But this colt wins this weekend, they're going to be putting a lot of emphasis on his chances, and it's a great spot to be in.
Yeah, his race at Gulfstream last time, Kenny kind of mentioned it before the race that he thought he'd kind of need a race, and that's kind of how he ran. He set himself up. We got in a good spot going on the backside and stuff like that, and I thought going into the second turn we were going to be in good shape, and he just kind of came up a little short and just kind of seemed like he needed the race more than anything. And like you said, we were really high on him last year after Breeders Futurity, thinking that we had a really big chance to win a Breeders' Cup race with him, but it didn't pan out for us. And we got to go into this race thinking that he's got a big chance, and we'll just kind of see how he runs tomorrow.
Could you talk about the horses that are in the?
Yeah, you got Epicenter. He looks like he's a really good horse. We're going to this is the first time any of these horses will go to 1 mile and 3/16. So we think our horse is going to like it, and we got to see how the race will set up between Epicenter and then a couple other ones. The Todd horse too. He might show a little more speed. Second race off of his maiden race coming out of the Risen Star, so we'll just kind of see
shortly.
You all handicappers, talk about the field.
It's going to be a tough field with the Epicenter in there, but it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting for us. Glad to be here. Didn't run till Fountain of Youth since October, so Saturday will tell the story.
Smile Happy's going in the Bluegrass.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Just talk about for being a Louisvillian and having 2 horses on the trail. I mean, most people would just love to even have 1, but to have 2.
It's our first time. We had Crafty Shaw on the Derby Trail back in 99, 2000, 20 years ago. But it's exciting just to have, one, but two. So we got to get this one to the finish line tomorrow.